back in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Oral Roberts time here in Sioux Falls. We got Sophie Anderson, the first-year head coach. Welcome to the Summit League. How are we doing?
Thank you. I'm here. Like I just said, some days I'm surviving, some days I'm thriving. You know, it's a roller coaster, but I'm loving it.
All right, well, Coach, in making this team your own this year, obviously previously had been on staff, but what do you want to instill in this group and kind of the culture you want to set here?
Champion. Be a champion. Be a champion in life. Be a champion in everything that you're doing. Energy, attitude, and grit are some of the things that we've been preaching at our girls. But those are not just culture words for our program, but in life. You know, like you got to step into an interview with, you know, the energy of like, hey, I got this job. Even if you don't feel like you're fully prepared, you fake it till you make it. You go in and you smile with a good attitude. You walk in and you show up every day with a good attitude, but sometimes it just takes grit. Sometimes you just got to fight and push through, you know, and just find a way. And that's what we've done this summer. It's just been wild. So we've learned how to pivot. You know, whether you have to step through, whether you have to just time out. I need it back up, you know, but you've learned how to pivot and just make it happen. Find a way to make it happen. So
I'm fired up.
Yeah.
When you come off a season like you guys did last year,
Yeah.
how do you carry on that momentum now that this group is yours?
I think it's who we are. You know, just being around Coach Music, we were together 16 years, but that's genuinely who we are. I'm just a passionate person. I live my life on about a 10 or 11, you know, and I'm just full go, and I'm just extremely passionate. And when I love something, like I love our players, I love ORU, I love our staff, like it just oozes out of you. So the momentum is easy, you know, it's because it's genuine. It's just who we are. And I'm telling you, just being a champion starts now, and that's what I truly, truly believe in. We focused on details, and South Dakota State's a monster. They don't make a lot of mistakes, you know. North Dakota State, like our whole conference, you know, there's some extremely good coaches, but details are huge, and that momentum starts now, you know.
Your boss, the athletic director at ORU, Tim Johnson, he said when you were hired, you set yourself apart in that process. But it's very different to just be given, you know, you take the job, you're hired for a job, but you got to move one seat over into that head coaching chair.
Right.
As you think about that transition, what has been the things that maybe have surprised you that you were ready and not necessarily ready for these last few months?
Well, I think I was sitting on the sideline this summer, and one of the coaches I was talking to, I'd known him from the D2 world, and he's now a D1 coach, but he said, you go from making suggestions to making decisions. And I think for me, mentally, is you're always on.
Okay.
You know, where as an assistant, like, you're on, but your on is like, you want it, and maybe this, and maybe that. Okay, see you later. Have a good day. But as a head coach, it's like you're always on. Someone is not just asking you, what are your thoughts? No, you're making a decision, and whatever you say goes. So it's just a different mindset. But talking to another coach, I've talked to a lot of people, just trying to gather jewels and gems to put in my own crown. And it's just like, sometimes it's okay to say, not right now. Give me a moment. Let me make a decision. As I'm walking to the car, I don't need to make a decision at that moment. I'll call you. I'll call you tonight, or I'll talk about it in the morning. But having that ownership and having that that confidence in yourself, like, don't rush me into a decision. Give me a second, and I'll make that. So I think that's been the difference. Like just owning my own time, owning my own decision making, and just the mental capacity that it takes to make decisions, and then preparation. That's been big for me. Being prepped and ready to go. And I mean, it takes me a long time for a practice plan. Like every single detail is important to me. I don't want to waste their time, and I don't want to waste our time. I want to be very efficient in what I do. And so I spend a lot of time on that. But my door is closed, but I'm a social butterfly. So my door is still closed. People knock, and I'm like, hey, come on in. And then I'm freaking out because I don't have the, you know, practice plan done. So, you know, just budgeting all of that. So it's just, that's been the main thing, just finding a balance. But that's just being a woman, that's being a wife, being a mom, just finding a balance. And I think that roller coaster will keep happening until the day we die.
It will. It will.
Buckle up, ladies.
You got it. You got
Here we
it.
go.
When we could talk about the off the floor, but let's talk about what we're going to see on the floor. So a year ago, this Oral Roberts program led the league in scoring. You averaged over 84 a game in conference play. You and Coach Missy have been together a long time, so I think that there's probably going to be some similarities similarities, but from a style perspective and what we're going to see on the floor from your team this year, what's different, what looks the same, and where are you headed?
Okay, what is different, I would be our focus on the defensive end. I think we're going to hone in on the defensive end, and we want to create energy and momentum from that defensive end. Energy is huge for me. That's something that never dies. You know, whether it's positive or it's negative, it will consume a room. It will turn a basketball game. It will cause a timeout. And from that timeout, that momentum will come to us. So that energy is great. But you can get a lot of easy points from just your defensive effort, just from doing the little things, getting a tip on the basketball, applying pressure. So I think that's going to be the different side of the ball. But what's going to be the same is we're going to run, dribble, drive. Okay. It's just a beautiful offense. Yeah. It really is. And Coach's motto was speed kills.
Yes.
Like she loved to go fast. But for us, I think we're going to switch it to pace.
Okay.
You know, pace will be important, but also being disciplined enough to be able to grind it out. Because in a championship game, you won't be able to always go fast, you know, and it'll be a battle of tempos. So being able to be disciplined enough to run the offense multiple times to make the defense shift instead of taking the quick shot.
Right.
You know, so I think that will be the difference. And you got to be disciplined in that. And you got to be bought in. You got to believe, you got to trust your teammates and trust what we're doing and trust the offense. So I think that will be the difference, but our pace within the shell will be huge. Getting to the spots quicker, getting your feet set, getting your arms underneath you, but then reattacking with a purpose, you know, and understanding why you're doing things. So I think that will be, I guess, the same and a little bit different. I think that will be the spin on it, but just being gritty too. Yeah. We got to be gritty. You got to get on the floor, and being a championship is being a champion and making it to the championship. It takes that grit and effort to push through and being disciplined now and taking care of your body now.
I think one of the grittiest players in this league is the one that's with you here today, is Jaylee Oglesby, two-time Summit League Sixth Woman of the Year. Yeah. It was always kind of that X factor, and I think everybody in America was like, why is this kid not in the starting lineup? I know there was a method to the madness. Yes, absolutely. I don't want to put you on the spot, but just tell me, what does Jaylee Oglesby bring to the floor, and how important it is to have her back with this group as you enter into year one?
Well, let's be honest. She's the only one that's played, you know? I mean, significant minutes.
Yeah.
We have Gentry Baldwin right behind her, but Jaylee's the only one that's played. I mean, we're talking 30 minutes a game, 28 minutes a game, and then Gentry's behind her in the teens, you know, but she has experience. Yep. She knows how to win. She knows how to win in this conference. She knows how to win in big games, and she knows how to take over a game. But the beauty of coming off the bench, and I know she's going to hate this because she never wanted to come off the bench, but you get to see the trees within the forest. Sometimes when you start, you're in the forest and you're like, holy moly, I don't see the trees, but you get to see the trees. Yeah. And sometimes just seeing the trees, you know, oh, okay, I need to chop this one. I need to go over here, climb this one, and then I need to get down and then go over here, hide behind this one. And that's like priceless. That's priceless, and she can help our new sixth woman understand the game and her importance of the game, because without Jaylee, we wouldn't have won a lot of games.
Absolutely.
So I'm extremely excited that she's back. Yeah. I'm extremely excited that she has that experience, but I'm extremely excited that there's a ton of people that have no idea what the Summit League is about, because you're just going to come out and you're just going to come out and play. Yeah. All they're going to know is you put shoes on just like I did, and we're going to come out and have fun.
Be gritty.
Be gritty. That's right. Be a champion.
Yeah. Where have you seen her step up in that leadership role just because of how much playing experience she has and just what she had to do last year? That's hard to come off the bench, like you mentioned, but she did it time and time again, and she still produced for you guys. What kind of leadership is she bringing this group?
Well, she's not very vocal, and I know that's surprising, and she doesn't pass the eyeball test, you know, but she's just a winner, you know, and I don't think you have to say much. You just know, because when she comes out and she comes into practice, like, she's mad at herself if she misses. It's just something about her that's like, whoa, man, I got to get behind this. But she's also proved it time and time again, and she's so consistent. She was that way in high school. She's like the third leading scorer in the state of Oklahoma. So, like, if you don't know, you better know, type thing. And that's just how she is. She doesn't have to say much. She just, it's all actions for Jaylee. So I think that's what it's about. That's what we've been preaching to our young ones. It's about your actions. It's about your details. It's about how you prep for the game, how you step on the floor. And she does that every single day in everything she does.
How have you seen this group come together, mesh together, whether it was summer into the preseason? Now, how have they come together as a unit?
They're talking. They were terrified at first. I mean, none of them knew what to expect. You know, they knew me as the assistant, or the new ones, they don't know me as an assistant. They know me as a head coach. Welcome to college. But no one knew what to expect, and I loved it. I loved every minute of them just being, you know, on their toes and shifty. But they were stepping on the floor every single day locked in. They were ready to go and prepared, and I think I was able to mold and set the tone of what I wanted because no one knew what to expect. And that uncertainty just gives you a raw, true, organic vision of who they are. But they're ready to fight. They're willing to learn, and I use this word all the time, locked in. And their energy is not like mine, and I had to learn that. You know, that's not a bad thing. But you could see their energy in their eyes. You could see their energy in their body language. But me, I'm like, let's go. And they're like, good job, coach. That's great, you know, but that's okay, you know. And I had to learn that and learn that was okay. So they're ready to go. They're competitors. They're fighters. So I couldn't ask for better people to be around.
Love it.
Okay, well, Coach, I want to end you on a fun fact I found out about you.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Here we
You
go.
probably already know where I'm going with this. You used to run a snow cone stand.
I did.
Can you tell me about this? Because I'm really intrigued.
Okay, so Weatherford, Oklahoma, D2, love it, love me some Weatherford. And during COVID, we had a lot of time.
Yeah.
So I was like, I prayed about it. I know that sounds weird, but I did. I prayed about it, and I had a vision of a snow cone stand. And I've always wanted to do it, so I was like, I'm going to do it. It's called the Beehive. And we had this little yellow building. We painted it, and everything just worked out to a T. And I called them bougie snow cones. They were gourmet snow cones.
Okay.
Yeah, we had.
I like anything bougie.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
I'm telling you, we had cotton candy, we had glitter, we had real cheesecake, we had fresh strawberries, we had pickles.
Pickles?
I mean, it was just the upper echelon of snow cones, you know, and it was, you know, it was shaved ice.
Yeah.
It wasn't just your regular snow cone. So, but that shows you, it just teaches you how to grind. And I took pride in my snow cone. And with that, running a business, I'm telling you, I applied that to being a head coach.
Oh, heck yeah.
100%.
Yeah, you got it. You are a CEO of a program, CEO of a business. It doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what I did then, I would stay up all night and I wrote down different recipes. I mixed flavors together and I wrote that down. And it's the same way. I prepped for each day. I mean, I had my grocery list. I prepped for each day. And it's the same thing with basketball. And I know that sounds weird, but you're running a program.
Yeah.
And I hope it's just as sweet on this
Ooh,
court.
there we go.
I loved it. I loved everything about it. And I'm telling you, if I did not coach anymore, I would open my snow camp. But it's just snow cone stand, and it's just like a little piece of sugar. But to see the smiles and the impact that you had when you put that snow cone across into someone's car, like it was unmatched. And
love
you
it.
touch people in your community, and that's what it's about.
So if the girls get a big win and you guys are on the ride home and you see like a snow, is that an automatic stop or?
Now it depends
No.
on who we play next. We gotta lock in. Not
Celebrate,
too much. Yeah, not too much.
One and done.
Yeah,
We're one at a time. We got to move it on.
Prep.
Yes.
We're trying to win. Yeah.
All right, Coach. Well, best of luck this year
Thank
and year
you.
one for you as head coach. Thanks so much for the time.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies.
Thank
Coach.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
back in Sioux Falls and continuing our coverage with the ORU Golden Eagles. Jaylee Oglesby joining us. Jaylee, your 7th year of college basketball. You've had an incredible journey. How do you encapsulate what this final season will mean to you with ORU?
Well, thank you. Yes, it has been 7 years. I never imagined I'd be playing this long. But, God had a plan better than my own.
There you go.
I'm just excited to see what this last year will bring, with a whole new team, new coach who's not so new. Y'all got to see how awesome she is. So, y'all could see that her personality just fills a room and is contagious. Yeah. So she is a great leader. She's passionate and loving, and so we're all super excited to play for her this year.
It wasn't a crazy transition because, like you said, you guys did know her. She's been on the staff for a while. But how would you describe what the transition has been like for you guys that did know her, going from on the staff to now your head coach?
Yeah, so I would say it's been easy because she just has that relationship with all of us. That she's close to us, we feel like family, and this team just feels like one big old family. They care about us, more than a player. Like, we are people to them. And so I got to tell you that we have been reading the book, Make Your Bed. And so every week we would be assigned a coach and we would talk about the chapters. And that's just the type of people they are, to care about us as people, not just as players, and what we can do for them on the court.
You have thrived in this system on the floor, but the faces look different. And that's a tough decision when this comes and is kind of in your bucket in March and April. What went into your decision about saying, you know what, I'm going to play my last year, I'm staying at Oral Roberts? Why was that right for you?
Well, so I'm getting my master's in counseling, and I'm in my 3rd year. So that's a big factor for me, is to finish at ORU and to get that done, because my degree has always been important to me and was one of the reasons I chose ORU in the first place. But knowing that Coach Anderson was going to be the head coach was the biggest reason I stayed.
Okay.
And knowing what she brings to the floor, what she brings to our team, there was really no other choice.
Yeah.
No decision to make. It was just made for me, honestly.
Well, that's good.
Yes.
And sometimes that's the best way to go, because I think for a lot of people, they're not as fortunate. That isn't necessarily what happens. We mentioned it when she was up here just a little bit ago. You're the 2-time Summit League 6 Women of the Year, first team all-conference player. You did all this coming off the bench. And I know that's not always an easy thing to do, but as a player, what do you feel like that was an advantage for you? Why did that click so well?
Yeah, so I felt like it kind of gave me a fire, and that I wanted to go out there and do the best that I could, because I was kind of limited on my minutes. So going out there and doing what I could and doing what I could for my team was a priority. But I heard her say that, I got to see what was out there. So, I knew what I needed to come in and do. So I think that was a big advantage.
No doubt. My last question to you would be this. As you've gone through now this extended career as a collegiate basketball player, I think everybody learns something about themselves. What do you think you've learned about yourself that you can instill on some of these younger players, these newbies that are now part of this roster? What is it you've learned, and what do you want to carry over, and how does that help you be a leader for this team?
Oh, that's such a good question. I've learned that I can do hard things, that I'm resilient. I've been through 3 knee surgeries in my career, so coming back after every one of them, it wasn't easy, but you can do it. You can still get hurt and go on and play Division I basketball, which was always a dream of mine. And so just kind of leading by example. I'm not the most vocal. I'm reserved, and I prefer one-on-one. I'm not really a group person, but just leading by example.
You'll be a great counselor.
Thank you.
One-on-one counselor.
She's going to be great.
Come to me if y'all need anything.
There we go. There we go. Sign her up.
Coach said that a lot of the things will look similar in terms of offense, pace of play, but there's been a little bit more of an intentional focus on defense. How would you describe what that's looked like at practice for this group so far?
Yes, Coach is all about defense, okay? From, last year, that was hers. The defense was what she was focused on, and so this year I can already tell we're focused on that. We like to score, but we also need to defend and make stops. Stop some people from scoring. Yes, that wasn't always our priority before. So
Absolutely.
getting into that.
Yeah. And when this group comes off a season like you had last year, for some of you that experienced what that was like, how motivating was a season like last year and just getting so close? How motivating has that been for this group and even just for the new players within this roster to know that this is kind of what we're chasing, this is the standard?
Yeah, that's right. That is the standard. Making it to the championship game, that's what we want to do. I mean, we did it last year. We didn't do it the year before, which was very upsetting and motivated us for last year.
Yeah.
Now we're motivated just to go back.
Okay, Jaylee, before we let you go, I got a fun question for you.
Okay, I love fun questions. Let's hear it.
If you got to pick any celebrity to sit courtside at a game, you get to hang out with them afterwards, meet them, whatever, they're watching you. Who are you picking and why?
Oh, that's so easy. Okay, I'm going Taylor Swift.
Okay.
Atta girl.
got that one yet.
I'm with you.
Okay,
I'm with
yes,
you.
I got
Nicely
you.
done.
I got you.
Yep.
I'm picking her. I went to the Eras Tour. You know, I am a Swiftie. So.
That would be fun.
Yes,
it would be a
so
blast.
fun. Y'all would have to be there too.
Oh, I'm coming. If she's coming, I'm coming.
If you find out she's there, just let us know.
Yes. Okay. Yes, exactly.
Any favorite songs in the new album?
Oh, I'm gonna pick Fate of Ophelia. I'm
Okay.
going with that one.
Classic.
Yeah, I haven't listened to it enough, but
It's a good bop.
It's good.
It's
You
a
can
good
listen
bop.
to it on the way home, the whole album, a few times if you want.
Exactly what I'm thinking. On the flight
album a few
home.
times.
Yes, it's
Yes,
on replay.
there
Yeah.
you go.
All right,
Excellent.
Jaylee, thanks so much for joining us and best of luck in your final year with ORU.
Yeah, thank y'all so much.
Thank you.